Welcome, beautiful souls, to an empowering journey that will transform how you see yourself and your relationships. Today, we're diving deep into the secrets of what truly makes a man lose his mind over you, not through games or manipulation, but through the radiant, authentic power of your inner confidence, emotional independence, and magnetic presence. For every woman who's ever wondered how to spark a man's deep passion and lasting devotion, or who's felt disheartened by love's challenges, this guide is your roadmap. These aren't superficial tricks or fleeting tactics. They're timeless truths rooted in self-love, strength, and authenticity that will not only captivate a man's heart but also help you reclaim your own. Let's uncover the qualities that make you unforgettable, the subtle yet profound behaviors that ignite a man's desire, and the mindset that ensures you shine, whether in love or on your own. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll discover how small, intentional shifts can create a seismic impact on your relationships and your life. When we talk about what makes a man go wild for you, the first and most potent ingredient is confidence, not the loud, performative kind that feels forced or artificial, but a quiet, unshakable belief in your worth. This isn't about being flawless or projecting an image of perfection. It's about knowing, deep in your bones, that you are valuable, lovable, and worthy of respect, regardless of anyone's opinion. For women who've felt overlooked or undervalued in love, this inner confidence is your superpower. It's the glow that radiates when you embrace your strengths, accept your imperfections, and stop seeking external validation to feel whole. This confidence isn't a mask you wear. It's a state of being, a deep trust in yourself that says, I am enough, exactly as I am. Why does this inner confidence drive men wild? Because it's magnetic. A woman who values herself doesn't cling to a man's approval or beg for his attention. She doesn't need constant reassurance to feel beautiful or worthy. Instead, she carries herself with a natural ease, a strength that's both soft and unyielding. Men are drawn to this energy like moths to a flame, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're living fully in your truth. This confidence shows in how you speak about your dreams, how you set boundaries with grace, how you laugh without apology, and how you move through the world with purpose. It's not about being untouchable. It's about being authentic, vulnerable yet strong, open yet self-assured. A confident woman doesn't sacrifice her essence to fit someone else's mold. She invites a man to meet her as an equal, creating a dynamic that's both thrilling and respectful. How does this confidence manifest in everyday life? It's in the way you say no to what doesn't serve you without guilt, the way you pursue your goals with determination, the way you share your thoughts without fear of judgment. It's in the small moments, choosing to honor your needs, speaking your truth kindly but firmly, or walking away from situations that dim your light. Men notice this. They see a woman who respects herself and, in turn, they respect her. They don't just want to spend a night with her. They want to build a life with her, because she's a partner, not a project. Confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the most grounded in yourself, and that's what makes a man's heart race. But confidence isn't something you snap your fingers and summon. It's a journey, especially for women who've faced rejection or heartbreak. So how do you cultivate it? Start by embracing every part of yourself, your quirks, your flaws, your unique beauty. Self-love isn't about ignoring your imperfections. It's about seeing them as part of your story, not your definition. Practice self-compassion. Celebrate your wins, forgive your missteps, and stop comparing yourself to others. Set goals that excite you and take small steps toward them, because nothing builds confidence like action. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, and distance yourself from those who undermine your worth. Most importantly, stop waiting for someone else to validate you. Your value isn't contingent on a man's attention. It's a fact of your existence. When you internalize this, you begin to radiate an energy that's impossible to ignore. For women who've been hurt in love, building confidence can feel daunting, but it's also your path to healing. Every time you choose yourself, whether by pursuing a passion, saying no to disrespect, or simply taking time to nurture your soul, you're rewriting the narrative that love defines you. You're proving to yourself that you are whole, with or without a partner. This self-assuredness doesn't just attract men, it attracts the right men, those who see your worth and want to honor it, not exploit it. Confidence is your foundation, and from it flows every other quality that makes you irresistible. The next secret to captivating a man's heart is the art of intrigue, not through deception, but through the natural mystery of being a multifaceted woman who doesn't reveal her entire story at once. Intrigue isn't about playing hard to get or withholding for the sake of manipulation. It's about preserving your depth, allowing a man to discover you layer by layer, like a treasure he's eager to explore. For women who felt they had to overshare or prove their worth to keep a man's interest, this shift is liberating. When you leave room for curiosity, you ignite a man's desire to know you, to chase the enigma of who you are. This isn't about hiding yourself. It's about revealing your complexity gradually, giving him the gift of discovery. Why does intrigue work? Men are wired to pursue, to seek, to uncover. When everything about you is laid bare from the start, there's no mystery left to unravel, and interest can fade. But when you offer glimpses of your world, your passions, your humor, your dreams, while leaving some parts untold, you spark his imagination. He begins to wonder, to analyze, to crave more of you. This isn't about being aloof. It's about being selective, sharing enough to captivate, but holding back enough to keep him curious. A woman who embodies intrigue doesn't need to chase a man's attention. He's already invested, drawn in by the promise of discovering more. How do you cultivate this sense of mystery? Start by pacing your openness. Early in a relationship, resist the urge to spill your entire life story. Share meaningful tidbits, perhaps a quirky hobby or a heartfelt dream, but leave some details for later. If he asks about your past, offer a thoughtful but concise answer, then shift the conversation to keep him intrigued. Maintain your own world, hobbies, friends, goals, that exists beyond him. A woman with a rich, independent life is inherently fascinating because she's not waiting for a man to complete her. Be present but not always available. Let him miss you. Let him wonder what you're doing when you're not with him. This isn't about being distant. It's about valuing your time and energy, which signals to him that you're a prize worth pursuing. Intrigue also lives in your unpredictability. Surprise him with your depth. Show your playful side one day, your intellectual side the next. Let him see that you're not a single note but a symphony, full of layers he's eager to explore. For women who've felt pressured to be fully transparent to prove their loyalty, this can feel risky, but it's empowering. You don't owe anyone your entire self up front. By preserving your mystery, you invite a man to invest in you, to work to understand you, which deepens his emotional connection. This dynamic keeps the spark alive, transforming fleeting attraction into lasting fascination. Another powerful quality that makes a man lose his mind is emotional independence, a trait that sets you apart as a woman who's whole within herself. For women who poured their hearts into love only to feel drained or unappreciated, emotional independence is your liberation. It's not about being cold or detached. It's about finding your center, knowing that your happiness doesn't hinge on a man's actions or approval. An emotionally independent woman doesn't rely on a partner to fill her voids or fix her wounds. She tends to her own emotional garden, cultivating joy, resilience, and peace from within. This strength is intoxicating to men because it signals you're a partner, not a burden, a woman who chooses them freely, not out of need. Why is this so captivating? Men thrive in relationships where they feel inspired, not obligated. When a woman constantly seeks validation or leans on a man to soothe her insecurities, it creates pressure that can strain the connection. He may feel responsible for her happiness, which can lead to resentment or distance. But an emotionally independent woman flips this dynamic. She's secure in her worth, capable of navigating life's ups and downs without demanding he fix her. This frees him to love her authentically, not out of duty, but from genuine desire. He respects her strength, admires her self-sufficiency, and feels drawn to be part of her vibrant world. How do you nurture emotional independence? Begin by prioritizing your inner world. Invest in activities that light you up, whether it's art, fitness, or learning something new. Build a support network of friends and family who uplift you, so your emotional well-being isn't tied to one person. Practice self-soothing. When you're upset, journal, meditate, or take a walk instead of immediately turning to a man for comfort. Set boundaries that protect your peace, and don't be afraid to walk away from relationships that drain you. For women who felt love slip through their fingers, this is your reclaiming of power. You're not closing your heart, you're ensuring it's strong enough to love without losing yourself. Emotional independence also means owning your emotions without letting them rule you. It's okay to feel deeply, to cry, to be vulnerable, but don't let those feelings define your worth. A woman who can process her emotions while standing firm in her value is a force. Men see her as a partner who brings balance to the relationship, someone they can grow with, not someone they need to save. This dynamic fosters mutual respect, creating a bond that's healthy, passionate, and enduring. Finally, let's talk about the electrifying power of your sexual confidence, a quality that makes you utterly irresistible. This isn't about physical perfection or provocative displays. It's about embracing your femininity, owning your sensuality, and radiating a quiet assurance in your allure. For women who felt insecure about their bodies or hesitant to express their desires, sexual confidence is your rebirth. It's the way you move, the way you smile, the way you meet a man's gaze with a spark of playfulness. It's knowing that your body, your energy, your essence are beautiful, not because someone says so, but because you feel it in your soul. Why does this drive men wild? Sexual confidence is a language that speaks to a man's deepest instincts. A woman who's at ease with her sensuality, whether in a flirtatious glance, a confident laugh, or the way she carries herself, creates an electric pull. It's not about being overtly seductive. It's about being in harmony with your feminine energy, letting it flow naturally. Men sense this confidence and are captivated by it, not just because it's alluring, but because it signals strength, self-awareness, and authenticity. A sexually confident woman isn't afraid to express her desires or set boundaries, which builds trust and deepens intimacy. How do you cultivate this confidence? Start by loving your body as it is, every curve, every scar, every unique feature. Care for yourself through healthy habits, not to meet society's standards, but to feel vibrant and strong. Explore what makes you feel sensual, whether it's wearing a dress that hugs your curves, dancing to your favorite song, or simply savoring your own presence. Practice speaking your desires clearly and unapologetically, whether in conversation or intimacy. For women who felt love dim their spark, this is your chance to reignite it. Sexual confidence isn't about pleasing a man, it's about pleasing yourself, and that authenticity is what makes you magnetic. This confidence shines in subtle moments. The way you tilt your head during a conversation, the warmth in your laughter, the ease in your touch. It's not always about physical intimacy. It's about carrying your feminine energy with pride, letting it infuse every interaction. Men are drawn to this like a tide to the moon, not just for the allure, but for the depth it promises. A woman who owns her sensuality is a woman who owns her power, and that power is what keeps a man enchanted long after the initial spark. For women who've been disappointed by love, these qualities, confidence, intrigue, emotional independence, and sexual assurance, are your path to reclaiming your heart. They're not about changing who you are, but about uncovering the strength that's always been within you. When you value yourself, you attract men who value you. When you preserve your mystery, you inspire pursuit that's genuine and sustained. When you stand emotionally whole, you create relationships that are equal and uplifting. And when you embrace your sensuality, you ignite a passion that's both fiery and enduring. This journey starts with you. Love yourself fiercely, not because a man requires it, but because you deserve it. Build a life that excites you, full of dreams, laughter, and growth. Set boundaries that protect your peace, and never settle for less than your worth. For every woman who's felt love slip away, know this: you are not defined by the love you lost, but by the love you give yourself. When you radiate confidence, preserve your depth, stand in your independence, and embrace your sensuality, you become a woman no man can forget. You don't just make him lose his mind. You create a love that's real, reciprocal, and rooted in mutual respect. Choose yourself, and watch the world, and the men in it, rise to meet your light.